who splices runs. A guy named Sleepy Nicholas, also known as Downtime Death, also known as Kev, who played this game for a while and then started splicing runs, and then the community decided that he was the best thing that happened in the past. So they were like, alright, let's put his spliced runs onto speedrun.com. Let's put his spliced runs on the leaderboard. Because he didn't do anything wrong, you know, he just spliced a bunch of runs and lied about everything and tried to attack everybody pretty blatantly. And then that's fine. We'll just ignore that and then, you know, herald him as the great Link to Past player. Of course. Doesn't really make any sense, but I don't know. What can you do? What can you do? Yeah, that whole phase of making an alt account and then probably splicing runs an alt account and lying about who he is consistently again for 3 months. Oh, but no, we'll just ignore that and then put his runs on the leaderboard and then actually slander people who play the game. People like me who actually like playing the game and like the game and don't want horrible culture to be created around the game. We'll just slander him constantly, but then people who splice runs, let's literally endorse them, completely endorse them. In fact, let's put their times on the leaderboard. Let's go ahead and put their times on the leaderboard. Just made up times. Just completely fake times. Random times. Just do a run. We'll make sure it goes on the leaderboard. And then of course people who play the game, we're gonna demonize them. We're gonna completely demonize them. We're gonna make sure they have no success. We're gonna make sure everybody in this community hates you. Everybody knows that you're insane. Of course, this is all according to the Link to Past community. Wonderful Link to Past community. And then we're just going to completely endorse splicing and make the whole thing a cover-up. No issue. Oh, but then another person in a different community splices runs. Okay, yeah, they're a splicer. They're banned from the leaderboard because that's how it works. That makes a lot of sense. That's how it works. Of course, in Link to Past, no, you're actually going to put your times on the leaderboard. We're going to put your times on the leaderboard. No issue. Completely no issue here. I don't see anything wrong with that. In fact, why aren't more splicers times on the leaderboard? Why is only one guy who splices runs totally heralded in the community? Why are all the splicers completely? Why aren't they idols? Why aren't we completely friends with them and putting their times on the leaderboard and acknowledging them presence in the community? It doesn't really make any sense. Why only one guy? Why not all of them? I mean, there's a lot of splices in Link to Past. It's not like any of them had any good intentions at all. You know? I don't understand why we would. Why would we demonize all these other splicers when they really were relevant? But then the one guy who was actually maliciously doing it, we're gonna put his times on the community leaderboard. The actual mods of the game who play this game did that. Literally happened for several months. After he spliced runs on a alt account and lied about it. Wow, Link to Past community really sounds like a wonderful community. Randomizer's the problem, though. Of course, it's not Link to Past community that's the problem. It's the randomizer community. They're the problem, of course. Of course. So only makes sense, you know. The Link to Past community can't be the problem here because they love themselves, right? In fact, they love themselves so much that they refuse to take any criticism. Well, how could it be the randomizer community? How could the randomizer community have any problems? How could they be an actual community, people that like playing the game, when I thought the Link to Past community was an actual community. Wait, no, they splice runs and put splice runs on the leaderboard. And you'll never hear anything about it because the Link to Past community goes to every effort to cover it up. They go to every single effort to cover it up because they actually support the guy who splices runs. They were all wrong. They all believed him. They all believed he was not a splicer. They all believed he was not a splicer and they made fun of me for it. That's what they all did. And then he turned out to be a splicer. And so instead of accepting the fact that they were all wrong and gigantic asshole to me, nope, they just covered the whole thing up. They just completely covered the whole thing up. And now they wonder why I make video criticizing the Link to Past community. I don't know. I wonder why I don't like the Link to Past community. Wonder if it has anything to do with the community constantly attacking me, constantly demonizing me, constantly slandering me, going to every effort to defame me, building up other players that they don't like, or that they know don't like me, specifically because they're not me. I wonder if these are reasons I don't like these guys. I wonder, and then they come into my chat and pretend my stream and my chat is run by their rules. Weird. And then I don't like them, and they continue to wonder why. Why don't I like these people? Why don't I like these people who downvote every video I put on YouTube? They post every video in their Discord chats designed to mock me, disliking my videos. I wonder if the Link to Past community has any problem, if anything bad has ever come out of Link to Past community. I really don't know, guys, but of course randomizers is a problem. Of course randomizers is a problem because Link to Past doesn't get viewers. Well, I wonder why it doesn't get viewers. Maybe it doesn't get viewers because the community is a gigantic shithole. I wonder. Do you guys remember NV Inside? You want to know a funny story about NV Inside? He stole Zelna's 100% run, posted it on his YouTube channel, and pretended it was his run. And there was a lot of outrage about this, right? Because this is a malicious attack. This is specifically a malicious attack, right? So it makes actual sense now that there's outrage about him doing this. Because he stole runs maliciously, and he lied about it, right? Okay. That actually makes sense. And guess what the Link to Past community, among most of the speedrunning, did? They mocked him for it, banned him from leaderboards, and communally agreed that this guy is a problem. Which actually makes sense, right? That actually makes sense. It's hard to argue anybody who did that is not in the wrong. When the Link to Past community has a runner that does something 10 times worse, they cover it up. They completely cover it up. It doesn't make sense. In fact, they don't just cover it up, they then put his times on the leaderboard. After NV Inside. They make fun of, mock, and pretty much out... What's the word? When you, like, as a community, abandon somebody? What's the word for that, guys? What is the word for that? Is there a word for that when the community pretty much paints one guy as a villain and you cannot talk to him? Because that's what the Link Past community, among other speedrun communities, did to NV Inside. Exile? Yeah, they exiled him. Well, actually that makes sense. You know, that makes complete sense because he showed a complete lack of character. Ostracized. These are good words, guys. Ostracized, exiled, demonized. These are really good words. So this is what the Link to Past community, among every other speedrunning community, did. Well, it makes sense. It's actually reasonable here, but it's unreasonable because he came after Downtime Death, who was splicing runs, lying about it, spliced more runs over a longer period of time, spliced evidence, fake evidence, insulted almost everybody in the community, and actually a bunch of other really bad things, right? This is what Downtime Death did. Yet the Link to Past community has said zero bad things about him. They literally intentionally covered the whole thing up. They covered the whole thing up because, I don't know. I honestly can't tell you. Even in their horribly weak attempt to expose him for cheating, because when they finally had evidence like, okay, he cheated. Even in that, they said, but he's okay. We're going to let him back into the community if he wants to because he's our friend and he did nothing wrong except alienate and insult every single Past community member and splice runs over a several month period and splice evidence and then make an all and then probably splice runs on the all and then use a voice changer to lie about everything. Literally lie about everything and then probably splice runs back in August and July and probably long time before that. Well, no, he didn't do anything wrong, but NV Inside is the devil. Even though NV Inside obviously is an idiot. Is completely an idiot. Quite obviously. And it's so much of an idiot you don't actually need to exile him because he's that stupid. Was that it? Is that 12? No. Nobody knows the full story because the Link to the Past community refuses to acknowledge that it happened. Because it makes them look bad. Because they actually pretended that these runs weren't spliced. They actually pretended that the runs weren't spliced, so they refused to acknowledge it. Refused to acknowledge that this happened. Ah, come on, I was a frame off. I would have got the early triple, which is legendary. And actually, it would be gold, I think, or gold taste. But that's what happens if you don't get the if you do a frame off. Oh, this is still good. I don't think I'm saving time though. That was actually a good game. $209.7, so I don't think I saved time on that game, but I went like dead even. 127 out of 7. That's fine. I'm not gonna like pretend that was a good run. Not that bad though. I mean, really good Eastern. Pretty good. Ooh, really good against Tower. Look at the against Tower, guys. That's really good. Dark World has had problems. I tied my Ganon. That's pretty cool. Okay, I lost a little bit there. That's fine. I lost a little bit here. Lost a few seconds there. Just a second. Dark World sucked, but Light World was actually really solid. Wow. I tied my fucking game too. Yeah, that could have been gold. If I got that early triple, 206.7, that would have been gold. Without the hookshot menu, it would have been at 205, and then... Oh, there you go, 205, and then it's just Warp RNG. You get 203 is the absolute best you can get. 203.5, 203.9. It varies a lot, but...